Hey there, how you doing? I'm Yalik, and this is not the video I planned to be putting out this morning. I had a couple queued up. We got the new tribes last night, and I felt like this took priority. So, the good, the bad, and the ugly. The good, first of all, the the all defensive building damage we had last cycle, the headquarters health we had last cycle, those have gone away. And in place, we have just machine gun damage and shock launcher health. This is going to be important in a second. We'll come back to it. On the offensive side, GBE goes up to plus 50%. Obviously, you're going to want to boost that. Medkit cost reduction. I use Warriors and RCZM, and medkits factor into both of those, in particular with the machine gun damage tribe. This is a nice little offset. Scorcher health, I'll probably boost that when we get to Crab, otherwise I never run Scorchers for anything, really. And then there's this. Cryoneer speed. Do not do this. Do not boost this at all. This is a horrible tribe, and I don't know why Supercell would do this to us. Cryoneers, if you don't know, are already one of the fastest troops in the game, other than Warriors, which obviously are faster than anything else. Cryoneers are quite quick, and if you've ever tried smoking HRCZM, you will be familiar with this problem, because the Cryoneers have a tendency to get out front because they're faster than anything else in that combination. They do have relatively high health, but they're also very expensive as a troop type. Why am I going there? Armory. Your heavies are relatively cheap. You want your heavies out there tanking mines for you, for example, when you're trying to smoke your troops. You do not want, the heavy health was what? So I've got 5,000 as a base, and these guys are 1,200 as a base, or 1,300 more or less as a base. They could take a couple of mines, but Cryoneers are the most expensive troop in the game, which is why you will see in a lot of player bases, you'll see this when you go to scout their base, and this is their troop loadout. It's because those people have socked away as much gold as possible by loading out this troop type. They don't plan to use it. Obviously, as soon as you get back into the game, you switch back to whatever you need to. Clearly, this works best if you have instant training, but that's why you see that, because they're the most expensive troop in the game. They're already fast, and they already have a tendency to get out front of your other troops. And now you're going to amplify that? It's just literally spitting your gold down the drain. Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Now, the shock launcher health tribe. This is for real. So, I had just tried, you see here, this was just a GBE attack. I ended up beating the fellow, but just for giggles, I wanted to see how much GBE, even with the GBE boost, ideally attacking this base, I wanted to remove a rocket launcher and a shock launcher. Or no, I tried with 2 rocket launchers, and that was not happening. The health on this shock launcher with his ice and with the tribes was 36,000. It was almost as high as the grappler. The grappler health there is 39,000. So that shock launcher has basically become, it's almost like a prototype weapon in terms of health. So that wasn't happening. So then I had to turn around and come up with another way to beat this base, not removing 3 towers, because that wasn't going to work. So what we ended up doing instead was going with Smoky RCZM and just removing 2 of the towers. And I ignored this rocket launcher, or this shock launcher, entirely, because I didn't absolutely have to have it. I can do most of the work I need to on the opposite side of this base, being out of range of that shock launcher. And then that gives me a decent amount of GBE to work with to smoke myself up to the place where I need to be. In this case, we're going to, as always, it seems like, smoke into the blind spot of this rocket launcher over here, and going to flare the mortar because I need that to die quickly, and I can do 1 shock behind. Do a short flare on the beach. See how they get all spread out like that? And you can even see right there, the Cryoneers are all move, the little blue hats are up front. They're all to the head of this formation. They're going to be hitting some of these mines. I do want somebody to hit some mines, and the Cryoneers, I guess it's okay. They'll be healed up under smoke, but just in general, that tribe is not a particularly helpful tribe. Don't do it. Do not do it. If you use Cryoneers for anything at all, then you want them not to be out front getting shot at. So you flare away from the range of that shock launcher. It eventually does end up going down because I curl around the backside of this base. I'm pretty sure you can see where this is going. Once I'd cleared out the right side of this base, there was a lot of GBE to work with back there, so I had enough for, I think, 3 more shocks. Yeah, and then there's another shock that's going to hit the machine gun over there, because right now machine guns are doing hella damage too. So I do have to pay attention for that. You might consider, I mean, in this case, I didn't go with the bow to heavy. Didn't feel like it was 100%. I mean, it still had a bunch of bazookas left there, and the whole world is clear. Everything is on the other side of the HQ. I'm not worried about a grappler and a boom cannon. Plus, the headquarters health was very low. Anyway, but didn't feel like the boat of heavy was necessary, so went with the extra damage from the rifles. Here again, you're going to see the same kind of strategy. I'm going to leave the back shock launcher. Laser was going to be a problem. These 3 towers being right in a line like that, I knew I could get them all under a single shock. So wanted to remove the laser and then this other rocket launcher down here, because I have no reason to want to visit that part of this fellow's base. Didn't catch his name. So yeah, we're just going to smoke up right here into, again, blind spot of this rocket launcher and start our work. Probably speed that up. Don't need to see that, but did the long flare, realized, wait a minute, hold on, regrouped with a short flare, and then once everybody was in a bunch, went ahead with my long flare, which is the way to smoke RCZM. So there we go with the shock. Actually, this rocket launcher I missed, but most of my troops were already, were under its blind spot anyway, so it didn't matter. And then here, again, just collecting a whole bunch of GBE. That's a lot of troops. And we're already, halfway into this base. So, was feeling pretty good here. But yeah, so the shock launcher comes into play. Didn't have any other plan to deal with it, so just left it and figured, I'm going to have to be shocking things back here anyway, and that's about the best I can do. Because as for barding them right now, that's a pretty dicey affair. That tribe is going 36,000 health. Wasn't nearly as high on this guy's base. But yeah, that's insane. That is a lot of health for a regular defensive building. So the less you plan on barding shock launchers over the next couple of weeks, probably the better for you. And yeah, seriously, the cryo speed is dangerous and it's not helpful, and I would not be doing that. Anyway, that's what I've got for you this Monday morning. Yeah, I hope you have a great day. I'll catch you later.